So that's how that came in.
Got it. And so, so you book vehicles, you give people housing, you do tours. What else does VSL do?
We're typically in the industry, we're what you call a destination management company.
Okay.
So I like to say we do anything. If you're coming to Sierra Leone for business, leisure, or relocation,
Okay.
you really want to talk to us.
Okay.
Because like we can just make your life so much easier. Right. So you're talking, if you're coming in, we have people that can meet you at the airports. They can give you, help your airport transfer, give you boats across. We can book your hotels. We can provide vehicles. If you're looking to work, we can help with work permits, visas, residential permits. Of course, if you're looking for housing, if you're looking for offices, if you're doing events like corporate events,
Okay.
we can help with all that stuff. So it's quite an expansive list.
Right.
But basically, we're just trying to solve challenges that people have when you're doing business in an environment like this.
Got it. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned all the things you do, because I've had a conversation with a number of Black Americans who are tracing their lineage back to Sierra Leone,
Yeah.
and they're doing the African ancestry. And one of the things they always have questions about is, when I come back, I'm not going to be here with African ancestry. How do I get around? What am I going to? What resources are there available to me?
Right.
So now, as we're talking, we realize that VSL is the
Yeah.
option for you. Okay, so we talked a little bit about your background, your history, how VSL started, and a little bit about VSL services. Who is the kind of typical customer? And I guess we talked about that, right? It's people who are either looking to relocate, move, and or visit, right? I mean, people who are visiting can also use your services. Some of you may not know, some of you might know, about 100 people came and got their citizenship. They traced their lineage back to Sierra Leone and got their citizenship this year, and it seems like the number is growing every year. I became aware of this actually just about a year ago, so I was not aware of this until very recently. But you have some contact with these folks. So some of these folks are coming, you have to go through African Ancestry to get your DNA checked, and once you do, you find out is your heritage, and then you go through a process of coming and getting your citizenship. How have you partnered with those folks to help them through that process?
Okay. Yeah, so as you mentioned, this is a scheme that was started by the Sierra Leone government a few years ago.
Yeah.
Basically, any African American that has traced their DNA back to Sierra Leone can be eligible for a Sierra Leonean passport, but it has to be through African Ancestry, because I think they have an MOU with African Ancestry.
Right.
And then once you get your results back, if you want to come to Sierra Leone, you need to speak with an established tour operator here locally. And that's where people like us come in.
Right.
So we would typically draw up an itinerary for clients that takes them through. So it's not just about coming and getting the passport, but it's also about just taking them and having them experience maybe life from a Sierra Leone perspective. So it'll be like a whole trip. I will take them to different places. If you're from the south, we'll take you to the village in the south where you'll get given a local name.
Sure.
The villagers will welcome you back home, that kind of stuff. But we also just want you to enjoy Sierra Leone and Freetown.
Right.
So you could be out clubbing one night, spending some time on the beach, having a tour of Freetown, going to Bonds Island, definitely. So we have a whole itinerary that's centered around that. The group that you mentioned, we also had maybe about a dozen people come through us, and we have a special dedicated website for that.
Okay.
It's called SierraAmericans.com. Where the information there is just tailored for African Americans that are interested in doing that. So that's also worth checking out.
Awesome. So all you Pan-Africans out there, everybody who talks about nation building and you're complaining about how things are in the States, you have the potential to potentially get your Sierra Leone citizenship. So definitely check out the site. What was it?
Sierra Americans.
SierraAmericans.com. And then also go to African Ancestry, obviously, to take the test and see if you can be eligible to get your citizenship. What about people in country? What are some of the people who have been here? What do they come to use VSL for?
Well, you have people who, for example, if they have relatives that are coming over for Christmas, or well, not just Christmas, if they're coming over here, they'll reach out to us to just help.
Right.
Because sometimes the simplest things can just take a bit long.
Right,
Yeah?
right.
And if you have somebody that's specialist in providing those services, then it just helps to leave everything to them.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's one angle. Also, what we do is try to promote like domestic tourism.
Okay.
Because that's one thing that's really important to the Ministry of Tourism here. They've been trying to focus on that, on how you can also get Sierra Leoneans in country to appreciate like some of the things that are here.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately there can be no bigger ambassador for Sierra Leone than Sierra Leoneans. So the first step of that is actually to get people to experience some of these things that we also offer internationally. So we do trips, we do like all the trips that we offer, you know, to tourists.
Right.
We also offer to Sierra Leoneans. So we do periodically we do trips to places like Bones Island, which is quite significant in terms of Sierra Leone history, and in particular to African Americans, because it would have been like the last place that their ancestors maybe left Africa from. We do places like, you know, Banana Island. But an interesting thing that we've been trying to do as well, which started in COVID, is to get people more active. So what we're doing is trying to mix like fitness and tourism.
Yes.
Right. So we've been, you know, doing more hikes, taking people to all these different places in Freetown and even beyond Freetown, just trying to, you know, keep that healthy lifestyle going. But we try to make sure that we also pair it with places that have touristic value. And that's been important to locals. Some of the walks and hikes are free. We call them just turn up and walk. And some, because maybe of the logistics, there are more costs involved. But yeah, we just try to get people to experience it.
You know, I went on the Sugarloaf in 2020. And so if you guys see the intro video and you see me climbing up some rocks, that was with VSL doing the Sugarloaf trip. Okay, cool. All right, guys, thanks for watching that clip from the Authentic African YouTube channel. If you want to see the full video, click up here. If you want to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this link right here. And if you want to see anything more from the channel, then you want to click down here. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you all in the next video.